Boop. All right, I am back. My computer is dying. I'm just going to show you my dying computer, and it completely crashed. And I'd open my computer up, and every time it dies, I have to, there you can see I have to pull out that GeoForce GTX 1080 old school video card and then reinstall it. Total hassle, but I was able to recover the video that I'd already recorded. Now we just have to finish this up, and then I have to get going because it's 3:08. I got to be out of here in 10 minutes. So here we go. Just make sure those are counting up. And that's part of what you get to learn if you keep coming to school. You get to learn things like, man, what do you do when your computer crashes? What's a video card? Why would I want to pull it and reseat it and blow out the dust? This is an old computer. And I'm getting a new one, hopefully Sunday. So then we have analytics, the shifting gears here. Analytics is the field of statistics. It's the scientific process of transforming data into insight for making better decisions. There's descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive analytics. You could pause the video and read through those, but with descriptive, you're describing the past. With predictive, you're predicting the future. And with prescriptive, you're using statistics to make better decisions and take better actions. Like a prescription, you're saying this is what should be done. There's big data and data warehousing. So big data is just like, large and complex data sets. That's known as big data. And there's some examples of companies that capture a tremendous amount of data. And then you store big data. When you have a tremendous amount of data, you store it all somewhere, and that's called a data warehouse. And then mining that data, you could mine it for insights and try to figure out, like, hey, what kind of ways can we understand this data to be more successful, make more money? That's data mining. And there's different data mining applications out there, so you could pause the video and read through that. And here's some of the requirements of data mining. You could read through that. It's just good for you to be aware of these phrases, which is like, big data, data warehousing, and data mining. So it's good to kind of be aware of those phrases. You can pause the video, read through that. And then there's ethics with statistics. Ethics are super important, and maybe we'll talk about them more in a future lecture. But you can pause the video and read about what the textbook had to say about ethics here and ethics here. And I will say this about ethics. With ethics, you can either sort of choose. Ethics or morals are how do you make decisions and take actions? What kind of an ethical or moral code do you use? And most people take decisions and make decisions and take actions based upon ethical and moral codes that were given to them by society, by their microculture, their family, and their macroculture, the larger society in which they were raised. This could include like the church you grew up in, if you grew up in a church, and then also just the ethics and morals of the people that were around you and the way you perceive the place where you grew up. And most people have a moral code which they haven't thought about and which was just given to them, and that's how they conduct their lives. And they're at a lower level of moral development according to Kohlberg because they haven't really developed their own moral code yet. And so a higher level of moral development is to develop your own moral code, to start from zero. And to start from a very, if you want, for me, this is the way I developed my own moral code. Like, why would I want to, asking myself this question, why would I want to have ethics or be moral, right? Or what do I want my ethics, and better question is, what do I want my ethics and morality to look like? Do I only want to live for myself and what's in my own personal best interest? Or do I want to take others into consideration? And so there's a great TED Talk, and it's called the Harvard Study of Adult Development, the Harvard Study of Adult Development, and it's a TED Talk. And here's the TED Talk right here. What makes a good life? Lessons from the longest study on happiness. And so this is a great place for me, and I recommend it for you to start when developing your own moral code. And basically what this tells you is that the quality of your life depends upon the quality of your relationships. The quality of your life depends upon the quality of your relationships. And so what that means is that your life's going to be better if you have relationships. And to have relationships, you have to think of other people. You have to act. Your morals and your ethics have to be designed to take other people into consideration and to build good relationships. So when you start from zero, and then you realize it's in your best interest to have good relationships, and that's what the data shows in this TED Talk, What Makes a Good Life, the quality of your life depends upon the quality of your relationships. When you understand that, from that point, you could start to build up your own moral and ethical code, because you realize that it's in my own best interest to think of the best interests of others and to treat others well and to have great relationships. Because if I have quality relationships in my life, I'm going to have a quality life. And so now, building up my own moral code, I've got my own personal motivation and incentivization to live by that moral code, because it's going to benefit me when I think of others, when I act with respect to others, when I'm trustworthy in relationship to others, when I'm responsible, and when I give somebody my word and I keep it, and when I'm kind to others, and so just to illustrate this, like not leaving my grocery cart in the middle of a parking stall where somebody else is going to have to move it, picking up trash, not throwing my trash around, like taking care of the community and being a good member of the community, whether it's just my immediate family or the larger community. And there's all kinds of studies that illustrate that the quality of your life is going to be determined by the quality of your relationship. So another one is the Vancouver. Here we'll go to ChatGPT for this, and we'll say, what is the study about students in Vancouver receiving $20, and some spent it on themselves and some spent it on others, and happiness was measured. Right? So that's like, I didn't even put my question mark there, and I left out the please. But here's this study. And so again, this shows that when you do things for others, when you're other-oriented, when you're pro-socially oriented, it actually increases your own happiness. And so you could read through the results of this. The study suggests that pro-social spending, or pro-social orientation, meaning you're oriented towards society in a positive way, can have a more significant impact on your happiness compared to spending money on yourself, just self-orientation. So that's a little bit about that. So that's morals and that's ethics. All right, that's chapter 1. I hope you enjoyed this. Look forward to seeing you next time.